So now it's 2024, and the year of 2024 is actually the reason I wanted to do this video series. I was chatting with one of our wholesale accounts the other day. We were out of town visiting, and I always love to go see some of our wholesale accounts and sharing some of this behind the scenes information. And they were like, my gosh, I can't believe that you went through all that the company is still here. I just thought, man, I should probably share that. I mean, entrepreneurship is a tough road, a lot of ups, but a lot of downs. So it's super vulnerable to share all this, but I thought it would be helpful to the other entrepreneurs out there and just for our customers, our clients, our wholesale accounts, just to share what it takes to run the business. January 2024, we are thrilled. It's going to be a great year. We're coming off this mastermind, and immediately in January, I get a phone call from one of my vendors. I have multiple vendors. I do all of our food and supplements, so we get some from all different places. Which lesson, never put all your eggs in one basket. Glad I didn't, and you'll see why at the end of this story. But this vendor calls and says, hey, I actually just purchased the company that is your competitor that you've been taking all this wholesale business from for the last 6 months. It's the company that I had originally left back in 2019. So immediately I go from their customer to their competition, and they say, because of this, Emily, you are now our number one competition, which means we're not going to sell to you anymore. So this wholesale manufacturer now is a retail company, and I am now their competition. So they're cutting ties with me, and I'm devastated. I mean, this is a lot of product to lose. It's not something you just fix the next day. You don't say, oh, okay, I'll just hop on Amazon, get something here in 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. This is a process. So we do all of our projections like at least 6 months in advance. So we have food in our warehouse today when this happens, but we're thinking out 6 months, what are we going to do when these orders don't come through? Of course, throw ourselves a pity party. The next day say, all right, I'm going to pull up my bootstraps. So we've got to figure this out because this is sink or swim. Without that, we go out of business, right? So I'm not going to let that happen. My strength finder, my number one strength is competition. So if I'm challenged, then I'm pushing back, and I'm pushing back hard because I want to win. So we immediately hire a food scientist to start coming up with recipes to replace these products that we're losing, start down that process, and quickly find out that it is a long process, an expensive process. It's like building a house. It's going to be twice the budget, twice the timeline, but we've begun. So we know 6 months from now, hopefully we should have some product coming, replace that. But I mean, it's of course never that easy, right? Here we are a year and a half later and still waiting on some of the products because of how long this process takes. So we are working through that, going, okay, we're going to replace these, even though, super devastating to lose just on a whim like that. Again, happy that I don't have all my eggs in one basket. So we're going to lean harder on some of our other food manufacturers. Well, in the meantime, what's happening is another one sells to private equity, which just means a lot of changes. Can be good, can be bad. In this case, it meant a lot of order errors. Things were literally getting shipped to us in the wrong boxes. So we had to order new boxes. So like the product box that all of our meals go into, think of a box with your protein bars in it. We then had to rebox everything. So this didn't happen one time, didn't happen 2 times. It probably happened a dozen times. I'm not kidding. Not just with that company, but some weird stuff was happening. So this is like months long of a reboxing project that we just keep constantly having. Happy to say it's over now. And then another one of our big vendors catches on fire. Their warehouse, literally one of their many warehouses, burns to the ground, which means everything's delayed because, of course, they just had a fire, but also we just lost a bunch of product because it's physically in their warehouse going to ship out to us. So everything's falling apart everywhere. While on top of all this, we're still doing a lot of account transitions. So all those companies that were kind of going out of business back in 2023 that are shifting to us, they're continuing to do so. So that's super great, but it means we need more product for them that we're running out of. So we're starting to back order on some things, which is never a good look. It's something we said wasn't going to happen. And then all these things that were out of our control started happening. But one of those companies, it was another franchise, not Jenny Craig, I won't say the name, but another one, we had taken some of their accounts because they're going out of business, but not for a few more months. So they send me a cease and desist, which I just had to laugh at because it also said, stop contacting them and send us the contract that they've signed with you. All this nonsense. I don't know if they thought I was stupid, I mean, because I'm blonde, but like, I'm not going to send that to you. So bye. But I just kind of thought, okay, well, that's my little badge of honor. Got one of those, check it off the list. So it was a year of checking things off the list, that's for sure. Anyways, also throughout all this, I've had a lot of health issues, and it started a while prior to that, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I actually explanted, so I had breast implants. I explanted them in spring of 2023, and then it didn't really do anything, but hey. Then in spring of 2024, I actually ended up having a seizure. It happened when I was at home. My husband luckily was there. He called 911, had to go to the hospital, try and figure out what's going on. Not really sure, but it was just wild to be there. That was spring. So after all this food stuff was happening, after that fire, after all those mistakes were happening from the other companies, and just thinking like, this is that rock bottom. I can't believe we're here. Like literally calling 911, going to the hospital, having the business, what feels like crumble around us, just reflecting on being at that mastermind thinking, I'm so glad that didn't happen. And here we are a couple months later. So all that to say, and just be careful what you put out into the world. I certainly wasn't manifesting that, but glad now that it's over. So fast forward, we get through the rest of the year. We start to get all these new products in, which is super exciting. So all these new recipes that we've come up with, some things are even better than we had before. We're launching brand new products that we wouldn't have ever had. So really the silver lining is we just have much more control and autonomy over our stuff now. So that was really good. It's just, of course, got pushed into it as usual. So now here we are on the other side. Things are going much better. All of the craziness of 2024 is over. Things are under control now. We've been doing a ton of clinic acquisitions, so been taking over a lot of clinics that we can turn virtual with our program because maybe they're just like coach ready to retire somewhere or has a small clinic just ready to close down the weight loss side of it. And we have these amazing coaches that we can just plug and play people into, help them go virtual. So we've done a lot of that over the last 6-12 months, which has been excellent. Just kind of getting everything to what the new normal is for the business now, and learning that things are always going to change and evolve. We have some new services coming, so it just kind of feels like a nice, fresh, we're reinvigorated now, getting that 2024 original feeling of like excited to take on these new projects. Just got paused by a year, so feels good. We're back, we're ready to go. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this series. Again, it's like super vulnerable to put it all out there, but it's something that I would love to watch of other entrepreneurs, like how they started, all the ups and downs. So if you're watching this and you're someone that wants to do it, I would definitely give you that nudge. I won't nominate anyone or anything like that, but I did talk to a few other entrepreneurs that said that maybe they'll do it. So please do. We'll start our own little trend here. But anyways, thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to do kind of a Q&A on any of that stuff as well.